not here.
Well, that's true. Well, hello, everyone. It is Thursday, January 14th, 2016. The awesome EdCampOKC organizer team is here for our second meeting, and I was just wonderfully thrilled to see our Google Doc filled in with all this great stuff tonight. And we are going to, I think Ann was going to join. I don't know. There may be some people who can't join, so if you can't, I'll put the link here in a second for the watch link, and so there may be some folks that have to watch, but we've got an agenda, and we'll kind of go around really quick first, and then we'll get into the meat of this. And I apologize, I didn't realize we were going to be up against the debate. So anyway, we will not go past the top of the hour, and I bet we can. I know we can do it. So you have to share your favorite technology app, toy, or moment from the Christmas 2015 holidays. Since you may not have prepared for that in advance, I will go first, and then you can just pass it to whoever you would like, mousing over if you're not sure of anyone's first name, and then you can just call them out. So let's see. You know, my favorite moment was actually just being offline. And there was one day when I was in my pajamas the whole time. So that was my favorite moment. That wasn't actually a very technology moment, but that's me. So Amanda, I'm seeing you on the far left side, so I'm going to kick it to you, and then you can pass it to whoever you want until we get everybody.
All right. Mine is similar. We took the family, and we decided instead of Christmas presents that we would go to the Gulf Shores in Alabama. And so we hung out on the beach and collected shells, and it was very low-key and non-tech, but very rejuvenating, so I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And I forgot to say this. Go ahead and say what you're doing professionally now, because some of us have changed hats since last year. So I'm at Cassidy School as tech director now, 8 minutes from our house. Amanda, you are?
I am at Chickasha in the classroom teaching English, and I am like 20 minutes from my house. So I love it.
All right, so you pick whoever's next.
Tammy, I'll throw it to you.
Hey, hello, Tammy Parks. I'm here at Howe, Oklahoma. Same position. I'm the instructional tech coordinator, high school teacher, and federal programs director at Howe, and I'm 5 minutes from my school. So my favorite moment over Christmas break, spent a lot of time like you guys, just chilling out and unplugging. My husband and I are building a primitive cabin on our 60 acres. And so we actually spent Christmas Day there working. We hosted our family gathering the day before and had a good time. But Christmas Day we actually went up to our primitive cabin and enjoyed a very nice day of solitude. So that was my moment. So awesome. I'm going to pass it off to a new face with our group tonight. I'm very pleased to welcome Dr. Crystal Jensen, a friend of mine who is a professor at Durant, and so we're very excited to have her with us tonight.
Thank you for host voice. This hasn't happened in a while, but it's been an epic week of teaching and planning, so it usually isn't like this. So thank you for welcoming me, Tammy, and I've met Wes before too, so I am just thrilled to be joining the committee and looking forward to learning lots from you all and sharing whatever I can. I think one of the highlights of my Christmas was I have a step-grandma and then her grandchildren, which anyhow it's very intergenerational, but they're between 13 and 9 years old, and so the 10-year-old boy is a major Minecrafter and could probably teach a college class on Minecraft himself. And so we got to do a lot of playing in Minecraft, and he showed me all the backdoor tricks that he's found from his friends. So thank you.
Let's do a session. We got to have a Minecraft session with trips and tips. So, all right, who would you like to throw it to?
Oh, let's see, Jeffrey, next person on the list.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Herbal. I'm the IT, or Information Technology and Instructional Director at Enid. Best part of Christmas was spending it with my lovely wife and 15-month-old daughter. She's become a star in our world, and she's just a joy to be around. It's amazing how time flies when you're older and have kids. It's the second time around for me, so when I was 20 and had a toddler running around, it didn't seem to go so fast. It's just going by so fast, so we're just trying to soak it up and enjoy as much as we can.
Awesome. Who do you want to throw it to?
Kurt.
Hello, it's Kurt Bernhardt. I'm the Instructional Tech Director at the State Department of Ed. This Christmas was the first time ever that I actually took off 2 weeks to spend with my children and my wife. So we were all off together and just had a lot of good family time. And
Awesome.
I'll pass it off to June.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm the IT director for Moore Public Schools. Not a whole lot of new things going on. Guess favorite part of the Christmas was going retro and got an old record player, and so I was able to bring out my records from the 80s, and that's how I've been spending my lunch, decompressing, listening to some old rock music.
Now,
that's
June,
so cool.
you're going to have to tell us a few of the artists and the bands. You can't just leave it with.
Well, I honestly, believe it or not, my favorite record I'm listening to right now is ABBA.
Dancing Queen,
Yay.
baby. Dancing Queen.
Absolutely.
For the 80s, June.
So we're providing, we'll spin the tunes for our Ed Camp on your record player. Let's do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, and Ann has just joined us. Ann, we're just going around telling a good thing from Christmas and what we're doing now, since a few of us have changed. So, June, who do you want to throw it to?
Well, right at you, Ann.
All right, hands on.
Christmas was really good because besides like checking Twitter and tweeting, I pretty much unplugged. I just kind of really took the 2 weeks and didn't even post a whole lot on Christmas or anything like that. Just kind of took in all the moments with my kids and traveled to Kansas, got stuck up there at the ice storm. So I thought it was nice, kind of refreshing to kind of just take back a couple weeks that I had. So it was nice. I prepared it ahead of time so I could have those 2 weeks off. So that was my best part.
Awesome. And what are you doing now, Ann?
This week I've been teaching a class, so that's been fun. But I'm still doing the instructional technology specialist for OU, and gearing up for classes to start next week, and getting a lot of faculty involved in our pilot for Google Apps for Education, and they're really loving it and kind of getting our kids used to Google Apps for Education, because that's what it is in a lot of schools, and they have not had really access to any of that until now. So it's been fun. This week has been just a blast because I really, really, really miss the classroom. So it's been fun to be in the classroom again.
Awesome. And do you want to pass it to Julie or Stephanie? I think there are two remaining folks.
I will pass it to the daughter of one of my favorite teachers of my kids, and that's Julie. Her mother's awesome. I tell her that every time I see her, but it's just the truth. So Julie, your turn.
And I'm Julie Gathright, and I'm a technology coach for Oklahoma City Public Schools. And this Christmas, I just spent some time with my nephew, who is 1.5, in Colorado. So that was fun, just to get away and spend some time and experience Christmas with him. So, and I will pass it to Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I've never done this before, so I apologize if I'm doing it wrong. I've never done Google Chat or anything.
You're doing great, and we can hear you well, so no problem.
Great. I didn't know. I'm Stephanie Hinton, and this is my first time joining you guys. I've wanted to kind of step up my game and volunteer for a while, so thank you for welcoming me. I am an assistant principal in the Putnam City School District, and I spent a lot of time watching Star Wars over Christmas break.
How many times?
Well, I watched all the episodes in 3 different ways.
Oh my gosh. And how about the new one? How many times?
I just watched it once. I need to go watch it a second time.
Okay.
But I've just watched it once so
So
far.
you watched each of the 6 3 different times? So 18?
Yes. Episode order,
Okay.
release date order, and machete order. If you haven't heard of it and you're a Star Wars fan, look it up.
Machete order. Okay, that may be the #1 takeaway from tonight. All right.
Absolutely.
Very good. Okay, well, for everybody to know, this is our 4th year for EdCampOKC. We are a very open and inclusive group. One of the best parts, in fact, I think one of the secret sauces of all this is that we bring together folks from different places and organizations and different roles, and it really is a great way for minds to mix and for ideas to be shared. And so it looks like we may still have somebody else who couldn't join, but as we've gone further in the planning, we've gotten over 10, and so we'll still, I think, try for a WebEx next time. There was a little technical glitch here, but we are really getting pretty good at organizing these, and I was amazed at how the Google Doc has come together. So if you are not in the Google Doc, we can put that link into the Hangout chat. If somebody wants to do that, just in case someone is not into the doc, and we'll just kind of go down the list, and we've got about, I think, 36 minutes before the top of the hour, and I think we can do this. So let's just start with our updates from the to-dos that we did last time. The website is online, and as of actually, I should have done this right before we started. We had I think 86 registrations yesterday, as of yesterday, and that was really just tweeting it out and posting it on December 19th. And so it says now we've got 315 tickets, and we're going to change that. So we have 85 people registered right now, and today Julie and Adam and April and I got to do a walk around, which we'll talk a little bit more about, at John Marshall, and realize that we're going to need to cap at 300. So I think we're going to fill up. I think that's exciting, actually, and we'll talk more about that. But anyway, the website is up, the Eventbrite is up, and we want to encourage everybody to get registered. I'll put registration into there. There are a number of ed camps, that are at that point. And so it may be that we'll look for a spot next year that can even exceed that, or we may love, the size of 300. I really think our facility is going to be great, and there's a lot of great things about where we're at with that. So, any comments or questions about registration or the website as we've kind of gotten it now? And if you do want to jump in or whatever, you can type in the chat as well, and then we can do that too. So let's talk a little bit about financial best practices. And you put some comments in and did a little bit of research. So what did you find out about EdCamp finances and bank accounts? And for you guys to know as background, we have not had a bank account and set up something separately. The first 3 years we have worked with schools, and this last 2 years Clinton Public Schools has funneled it through their activity account, and they still have some remainder, but what we've talked about being at the point where we ought to look at probably doing a separate account. So what did you find, Ann?
I found out kind of the bigger the EdCamp, they all did have a checking account. They did register, though, as a non-profit organization. And so, some of them just took some of them had donors that, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'll turn my messages off, sorry. Some of them had donors that just would donate straight to, and those people didn't have bank accounts, so they just would have their donors make their payments to whoever it was that they were getting the services or who they were agreeing to sponsor. And then Adam said that his was it was $150, I think, and he didn't ever take any money. They sent him some swag and did it that way too. But I know St. Louis has went to a nonprofit, and then Kansas does have their own checking account, and it's a joint checking account with 2 of the organizers on it. And so that's pretty much what I've gotten so far.
Does that impact their taxes then if they get those donations for the people who are on the account, or do we know what?
No, I think it goes I think you have to register as a nonprofit organization, and I have not gotten information on how to go about doing that yet, but I can start working on that still.
Okay, so
I told you I unplugged. I'm just kidding.
No, it's good. So we talked about this a little bit, Adam and Julie and April and I really do favor some kind of, I think, independent financial, whether we need to register as a nonprofit we could, or whether it's something that we can set up a bank account and have multiple folks we were talking maybe about Julie and Adam and I and maybe June. But right now, and we'll have June talk a little bit about it, we have, I think, a $250 donation now, and we're just going to fill it out to EdCampOKC. Adam has some bank connections with a bank and more that has branches other places, and so he's going to find out about that this week as well. So let's have other people chime in. Any people have other thoughts, ideas about that? Because we've been on that model where either people have directly paid, like with Chick-fil-A, the donor just pays direct to Chick-fil-A. We don't touch the money, it just comes. But last year we had more money coming in cash-wise, and this year we're doing that as well. So it seems like we've kind of outgrown the just direct vendor, and it would be good. But what do you all think? What are your thoughts?
I like the idea because, like you said, I think it'd be easier for people to donate just strictly to the nonprofit and then help however. I know last year we kind of got into that. We had some extra money, I think, with Heim or something. It was where do we place it? So if it's all in a bank account, then we just use it what's best, whether it's for the lunch or it's for breakfast or T-shirts or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that that was with them registering as a nonprofit, was that the checks can then directly be made out to EdCampOKC and not to specific to kind of change it because it's going to go into a certain account. I mean, I could see that getting confusing.
Yeah, I know it would be. It became a little bit of an issue depending on which vendors I've reached out to, because filing for E-rate and certain things, we're kind of limited to what they can do straight to a school site. So if it's a non-charity organization like the EdCamp, separate from a school, that would help me out, get more sponsors.
Good.
If you have a nonprofit, excuse my voice, if you have a nonprofit, it'll be tax deductible for them. If you don't, then of course it's just a donation. I had a friend that had his nonprofit approved in about 2 weeks, so if the paperwork is all together, it's a pretty quick process. My nonprofit that I just got approved is much more complicated, and it took almost a year, but I have heard of them going in about 2 weeks, so it's possible to get it done soon.
So Adam just joined, and he's going to do a little research. And Adam, maybe it's something that we will, because of the time factor, maybe it'll be something that we'll need to transition into and set up accounts that we can have deposits. So maybe you can get some advice about that as well. If it's something we can turn around quickly, that would be good. But I don't know.
I can do that. I can talk to the lady tomorrow and get some more information.
Okay. Adam, you have to quickly tell us what you do professionally and your best highlight from Christmas since you were late.
I am the CTE Technology Resource Coordinator for Oklahoma City Public Schools. I handle all the technology for career tech. And highlight for Christmas, I didn't go anywhere. We just stayed in town.
And enjoyed the balmy weather.
Yes.
All right. Other comments or thoughts about the banking thing and the finance thing? And do we know how much money Clinton has, or maybe Vanessa was going to find that out actually?
I think Vanessa's going to find that out.
Okay. I think we've got a couple $100, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Crystal's put in the text we'll need a bank account either way.
I would suggest waiting until, if you're going to do the 503c or 501c, waiting until you get that set up before you do the bank account. I've been on 2 boards here in Enid, 2 nonprofits, so you just want to make sure the account is set up under the nonprofit and not under someone else.
Right. Crystal, you said you've had experience, or you have a friend who has set one up before. Does anybody else have a lead on that, or somebody else who could facilitate that process for us if we wanted an expedited nonprofit?
I actually set mine up. I went through the process and set mine up myself. And you can incorporate, so you get your tax ID number, which is like your Social Security for your business. And that's just forming a new corporation in Oklahoma. There's hardly any fees involved with that at all. It's very inexpensive. And then you do need that number to set up the account, and then that's what goes into the nonprofit application approved by the IRS. But yeah, you can expedite it. And there is a nonprofit support group. Jessica Fow is the head of that. and she can help too. So
If you could drop her name and any contact information you have for her into the Google Doc, that would be great.
sure.
Anybody have any other thoughts? Because this is a big decision, but it
Well,
seems like
they said that wasn't, they were supposed to be forwarding me some information, but they said it may be different by state. So I don't know if there's different state rules with nonprofits, but they're supposed to be sending me what was Kansas's, the lady I talked to from Kansas, but I haven't gotten it yet.
right.
Maybe a reminder.
I think one of the decisions then would also be who wants to sign on as far as the board of the nonprofit. I mean, that could be something that we could just, ask who wanted to do that. I don't know. Any thoughts on that as far as, because I think the process would be we'll get the tax ID number, then we'll need to, we need to have the folks that are going to be on the board, and then there'll be an account set up designating signatories and things like that. I actually did this with Story Chasers a few years ago as well. The process took longer as far as getting the IRS designation, but the process of, having documents that designate who's the treasurer, officers, and signatories authorized for the bank account, as I recall, is what we then took to the bank along with the tax ID number, and then we created the account. So anybody have any thoughts on who's on the board and how we do that?
Could that change from year to year? I mean, because you would want somebody, we maybe would want, people to be that for right now, not but just people who have been consistently on this same organizational team, I think would be the best.
Right.
I mean, because we need to make sure that, if it's revolving, that we don't have to change that every year.
Correct. Okay. Well, if you're interested in that, why don't you, oh great, Crystal, I see you put that in the chat. If somebody wants to copy that and just put that in the Google Doc, that would be awesome. If you're interested in that and being on the board, and then, because we would, certainly need 3 or 4 of us at least, and several people, I think, and there'll be some tax. It's not crazy, and this isn't going to be something that'll be really big, but there is tax requirements as far as filing and stuff like that would be involved, and that would be part of why we would end up with some money that we would keep. In addition to not having our bank account closed because there's no money in it, there's going to be some tax things that we'd have to pay.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
I think it should be Wesley, Tammy, and Julie, in my opinion, just because you 3 have been there from the start. That's just my opinion. If we need 3, then that's good with me, because you 3 have been here every year. I wasn't here the first year, and I plan on continuing, but I don't like to deal with money, so I don't like to do any of that. But that's my vote, and is because you 3 have been a consistent face in EdCampOKC. Anybody want to second that? Okay, June seconded.
June seconds it. Okay. Well, we don't want it to be overly complex, but we also want it to be, it all has to be legit, and everybody has to feel good about it and be transparent, so that there's no questions as far as how things are being handled. Are there any other suggestions for Tammy? How do you feel about that? Your name was just mentioned. Julie, how do you feel about that?
I'm fine with serving. I kind of am joining the conversation halfway through, so I can catch up on that with you, Wes, but I don't mind serving.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking about basically for the bank account, going ahead and setting up a nonprofit and needing to designate a few folks who would be signatories and be official.
Absolutely. I would be glad to do that.
Julie?
Yep, I'm good with that.
Okay. Does anybody else want to nominate anyone else or volunteer? All right. Well, this doesn't have to be it, but think about that. There are some folks who've been inactive who are not here tonight, and Adam's going to report back. And Adam, we can also maybe get an idea as far as what that number should be and how many people. I know with what we do with Story Chasers, we require two people to sign on the check, and so it's actually nice to have 4 instead of 3, because then you can, if you need to, physically have somebody sign and things. Anyway, so. Think about that. Think about that, and maybe we can. We'll have if you can report back on what you learned, and then we've got this information that Crystal put into. We can make a. I don't know. Do we want to move forward now with the 3 of us, or do we want to? wait and make a decision. We kind of need to move with this probably because of the time factor and how we got donations that are coming in.
Well, and let me ask this. I may have missed this in the conversation, but does my proximity away from Oklahoma City area, would that be an inconvenience? Is this something that we need to look at somebody more locally, centered?
You'll need to sign things, but we sign contracts on houses and stuff like that over faxes. So
okay.
I would think we're fine. But we might want to add a fourth person if we're going to do co-signatories, because if we had to have a signed check and Julie and I were the only local ones, it may be good to have a third person, or a third person, a fourth board member in OKC, and we may want an odd number. I don't know. So, okay, June says move forward, but it's not sure as far as the military stuff. Anne, would you be willing?
Oh yeah, I mean I don't like collecting money, but I don't mind being on at all. That's an honor. I wouldn't mind at all.
I nominate Ann Beck. And then also nominally, or Adam, how do you feel? We talked a little bit about it, but
it doesn't bother me either way. So I have no problem being on it. So
okay, well why don't we pencil in Adam and Ann is, and as it was said, this isn't a permanent thing. This could be a rotating thing, but we have those 5 names. We'll see what we can do as far as moving forward with it this week and what we can do to expedite this, so we can have an account, start making deposits, and start doing business. And then I think we'll have the application stuff that we'll put in for the nonprofit, and then that'll come. So the donations this year, we may not be able to tell people are tax deductible yet. I mean that part of it may hold off. But okay, any other thoughts on the finance stuff?
Do you want me to, I see this link in here, do you want me to maybe give them a call tomorrow and get some more information about how to expedite it?
Yes, and that would be fantastic if you can do that. And in
I
fact,
will do that tomorrow.
And also, Ann, if you want to put at the end of our agenda tonight, kind of like we did before with the to-dos, if you want to put that down, start a to-do list, and then put yourself down for that will be great.
Will do.
Okay, so Vanessa was going to just, I think, find out as far as where we are. I think we have a few $100 left, but anyway, we'll find out what that is, and then we'll talk to Mr. Heim and get that transferred from Clinton, hopefully, and then we'll have that in our pot. So actually, even though this is out of order, we've got a lot of committees, and I want to hit the high points. We've got about 20 minutes until the top of the hour when I do want to quit. Let's skip down to food coordinator, because June has some money-related stuff and put a bunch of things in. And I think what we'll kind of do is let's do reports from different committees to hit this, and that'll probably finish us out with the 20 minutes. So, June, what do you have for us on food?
Well, I got actually pretty lucky this time around getting several vendors to help me out. Got a few that I couldn't use because of the E-rate issue and in my position in the district. So. Anyway, I've got 2 companies that will be providing about 400 to 500 bottles of water for us. I talked to the general manager at Panera there on Memorial that will be providing the facilities for us if we decided to do something like a coffee EDU, like a pre-conference conference. They're also going to be providing coffee and pastries during that time frame. Right now I've got it scheduled from 6:30 to 7:30 for any early risers. I'm trying to get one more vendor to provide breakfast for those late risers and coffee at the facility. So we'll see how that turns out. Lunch is being provided by Digi Surveillance. They're going to provide Subways for everybody.
Wow. And we're talking like 300 sandwiches?
Yep.
Awesome. That's great.
And then Red Place Learning donated $250 for whether we use it for lunch or for breakfast.
That is awesome.
And I have a suggestion on that. I was talking to Cindy Danner-Kuhn, where Charlie and I are up here in Kansas for this iPad thing, and she went to Kyle Pace's Ed Camp. They moved from the Kansas City Museum of Art to a larger location this year, but they just had so many prizes at the end, and a lot of them were small T-shirts and things like that. As we get cash prizes as a thought, let's think about maybe getting some things like iPads or Surface Book. I don't know. Let's think about how we might use those, because it could be that we could have some pretty cool prizes that way. And if we're already getting our food donated, that's kind of been one of our biggest things that we've deemed to get covered. So
Kansas gave away an Apple Watch last summer.
Yeah. If you want prizes, go to iPad Palooza in Austin. That's the prize capital. There's something else.
So I guess my question is, do we want to do a coffee EDU type thing, or are you guys okay with that? Or is that cutting into the EdCamp?
Can you describe for everybody kind of what that would look like and when that would be?
I love that idea, June. Yeah.
A coffee EDU is basically you take an hour, everybody just meets up, pastries and coffees provided. Usually somebody pays for all that, which we were able to get. But you just split up. You say, okay, who wants to talk about what, and just kind of go to your own corners and you rotate around, just kind of like what we do with EdCamp style.
And it'll be at the Panera.
Yes.
And that'll be the memorial one that's right close to John Marshall.
Yes.
Awesome. Anybody want to share a thought on that? Stephanie says she loves it.
This is the whole early bird night owl concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it sounds great.
I'm up for it.
Yeah. Well, for the people for the people that do not attend the after party, this is another chance that they could come a little earlier and still make some connections and have great conversations.
Right.
And those conversations that occur before could carry on into the actual EdCamp itself. Yeah,
absolutely.
Really energized.
And what's great about innovating like this is, I don't know that this is for sure, but I think Oklahoma we may have more ed camps than any other state in the nation per capita. And we had, I think, the largest one this summer. Not that we're all going for records, but I'm just saying that we're showing folks possibilities. And so as we iterate, like we did our, maker and STEM area, obviously people have done that before, but I love the idea of doing something different and showing another possibility, because that's going to, give people ideas for what they could do at their ed camps or, back in their school. So
I'll move forward and work on getting some advertisement up through Coffee EDU, start tweeting that out, make sure that they get a little love that way.
Because Coffee EDU is a separate kind of group on the web, like EdCamp?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you can list this as a Coffee EDU event that's in conjunction with. Tammy's suggesting we add it to our shirt, so we could.
Yeah, that'd be a great slogan byline. If we could tout that on advertisement marketing, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you need from us, June, as far as the food side?
Not really, unless there's anything else that I'm missing out. I'm just going to do the 500 bottles of water and not worry about sodas.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't get breakfast, I figured we could use that $250 donation for breakfast.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay. So as we're looking at the committee stuff, one thing, and I don't know if we have yet T-shirts. Amanda, we talked briefly, Adam and April. Well, let's do that. Let's do a little report on what we learned today from our walkthrough, and then we'll do T-shirts and we'll see what else. We got about 13 minutes.
Is Amanda still in?
She dropped, didn't she? Well, Julie and Adam were with me today in April, and with April. So.
And Amanda and Andrea Stewart made an exchange in email earlier about T-shirts where they were both looking at vendors just to see what kind of pricing they could get. So I know they're working on that.
So our thought was to move quickly so that we can get that out. And last year it was an interesting discussion, wasn't it? As far as what we ran into with our issues. Yeah. We said today maybe we could be kind of traditional with an EdCamp style Apple logo. Maybe we could throw some other things in there, but rather than take several weeks to to look at a bunch of designs and things, if they could come back with some proposals next week, if we could see what Mint or these other vendors would do, I would love to see us get that out soon, so that folks can start
I agree. Just to add here, just to get marketing kind of going, I'd like to see us get a logo. I would like to see a logo within a week, just so we can get some great PR with the logo that we're going to use.
If somebody wants to put that into the Google Doc, that'd be great. Buy the T-shirt stuff to just say logo review next week. Because if we could have one or more options,
flyers and logos ready to go,
and approve it next week, and then we can run. We kind of need to do that.
And last meeting, Wes, you had mentioned you had an idea for a logo this time.
I did, huh? Um,
I may have been dreaming, but I thought you did. Thought you said you'd had something interesting.
no, I don't think so. Unless, but
Really?
I'll go back and meet with myself later tonight and see if I can remember that. I think
Am I just dreaming, people?
we were talking today just about maybe kind of traditional going with it's important to have a good comfortable shirt, because if we go with something that's less expensive and it's not, if it's cheaper, it's just going to kind of go in a pile. But if it's a nice shirt, the EdCamp CTE, there was the gray one that was green that had the spots and stuff on it. We were talking was really nice. So we'll reach out to Amanda. And who else did you say was working with Amanda? Tammy?
Andrea Stewart.
Andrea
Stewart.
If we
She
could
was
put
not
her,
able to.
if we could put her name into the Google Doc, and then we'll reach out to her and just see if they can. I say ask Mint to see what they can come up with and what their pricing would be, but we're not tied to them. So, June, we may need you. June, where are you? You're like in the Matrix or something.
Well, yeah, I'm at a coffee shop, and right before we started, they decided to turn on the music, and I got a whole gang of people next to me, so I went outside and I'm freezing my butt off, so I'm in the hallway.
Yes.
I can't find a spot.
The backstory of EdCamp organizers.
Yeah,
Doing what it takes to get the job done.
I like his shot.
I'm in the storage area.
No
I'm in the storage area.
Pretty soon, someone's going to come up behind June, and they're going to have a red pill and a blue pill, and we're going to be swallowing it.
I'll do this.
Nice.
There we go.
All right. So, Julie, do you want to tell us a little bit about what happened today with our meeting with April? And Adam, you can chime in, too, as far as there's good facility notes, but kind of summarize what we learned.
Okay, we just did a walkthrough of John Marshall just to see what the space was like and how many people we thought we could get in different places. And so I just put a little bit of facility notes in there. The auditorium only seats 325, so that's why we kind of just wanted to go ahead and cap the registrations. And then we talked a lot about getting some students to help run some things, whether it's the lights for the auditorium, because they have a class that teaches the kids how to do all that, or just even the like a help desk kind of thing for people who need help with something not working, or needing a dongle in room 2 or whatever.
Or a video adapter, as the case may be.
Yeah. So then we just talked about all the kinds of things we're going to need, and we got some rooms available. And I'll follow up closer to the event with April just to make sure the projectors are working and all that kind of thing. And if we need to make any last-minute changes to rooms or something, we can get that done. So,
Adam, you have anything to add?
No, I don't. I mean, it was what it is. I mean, the size is a little bit smaller than what we had at Southmore, but I think it'll be better. So.
No, but no offense, June. It was awesome at Southmore.
Oh, I liked it at Southmore. So.
No,
of course, it was only 4 miles away. So.
Our limiting factors really are the cafeteria and the number of seats, in the auditorium too. But if we have 300, and there is that whole thing about people registering and not coming. So that is something. Right now on Eventbrite we have it set for 400. I don't think it should be set to 400. Based on the past and people not showing up, if we could hold 300, I mean, we could think about saying 325 if you wanted that, because you're going to have some people not come, and it would be too bad if we only had 275 and we kick ourselves to say, shoot, I mean, we've never had an ed camp where everyone who registered came. That's never happened. So, but 300 is really, what do we say? 276 was the seating. Or in the cafeteria, we could have some people standing, but 300 is pretty much the number of people we would want to have.
I'd say 300 needs to be the max.
Do we keep 300 as a registration, or do we bump it up to like 325, thinking that 25 people who register may not come? Or what do you think about that?
I think we go with 325. What has been our percentage of no-shows in the past? 20%?
Yeah, 15, 20%. Yeah.
Well, last year we had to reschedule, so we can't really use that.
Yeah, last year was even more. But I think talking to other people too. It's
325.
Okay, Julie, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you're always going to have people who won't show up. We can always set it at 300, and then if it gets full, we can bump it up to 325 too. But I mean, setting it at 325 is not that much difference. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll change it to 325. Eventbrite will handle the waiting list, and we can also talk next week. We got about 6 more minutes, and we'll shut off here. We'll talk next week about email blasts, because I think it might be we want to be doing that soon, but especially as our registrations get in and we have T-shirts to announce and stuff like that, and we can encourage people to cancel if their plans change.
yes.
I do have it on good authority that Saturday is going to be a fantastic day. Ice is going to be done. The sun will be out. It's going to be beautiful. So that's good news.
It is.
That you can take to the bank. Okay. So that's kind of the facility report. April, who is Gustafson, who is the EdTech guru, she's had the substantial office upgrade. She's got the projector in the room and the aquarium, so that's amazing. She's the on-site person, and we've had 2 Playdate events there, and I really like how the space is going to be, and she's got a map and working with that with Julie, so I feel like that's all moving along very well. So looking at the committees, are there any other committee folks that have a report or that we need to talk about?
I'm just going to jump in real quick, and just with the marketing, I just having that logo and having something that we can actually put our brand on as soon as we can, then I think I would feel more comfortable sending out something to all of our listservs, blah blah blah. So
Tammy, maybe you could be that liaison with Amanda and her assistant, whose name I'm not remembering. Who is the person?
Yeah. Andrea Stewart.
Andrea, thank you. So if you can reach out to them, and as a goal, we could have either a logo to go with, if you guys find one that you just think is going to be great, or if you've got a couple for us to look at.
We have a press release, that you've written, I think, in the past that we could tweak, and I can just send out generically. I mean, what are your thoughts? Should we just move on that generically, or just wait for a logo?
I think we should wait. Let's wait, and if we have a logo, and the T-shirt can be in place and those things. I mean, this is our 4th year of doing this, and the word is out, and people are going to respond. But let's not wait on pushing it out. Let's tweet about it, let's share it. But I think as far as the press release and that stuff, if we could decide on a logo next week, and we could even decide on T-shirts, that'd be awesome to check that off our list.
Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else, Tammy, as far as public relations that you want to share? You put several things in there about listservs and targeting librarians and things. It sounded good.
I'll jump on those as soon as we get the green light for a logo. So that'll with just capping at 300, I think we're going to fill up fast without even doing much marketing, but definitely we'll still send the message out.
Right. So we still have a couple committees that are listed that would be good to get somebody to head up. We really haven't had any live streaming the last couple years. That's been a formal thing. We kind of did that the first time, and then we really haven't done as much. We probably want to find out App Smackdown wise, Toby and who else has done the App Smackdown?
Jonathan's great.
Jonathan, yeah.
I love Jonathan doing it. I'm not sure what his plans are. I can message him, but Jonathan's great. He's always a good one.
Reach out to them.
Okay.
And then maybe next week we'll talk schedule more as far as, probably it'll be similar to morning, after lunch and Smackdown, and two afternoon. But anyway, we'll talk about that. Has anybody been to an EdCamp since ours last year, and had an experience?
I went to Kansas, and I went to Stillwater.
EdCamp Southeastern Oklahoma. All 5 of us.
5. Okay.
Yeah. Kansas is probably my second favorite one from OKC. That's a good one to go to.
I'm going to go to Denton, which is coming up. In fact, Vanessa is hosting one the first Saturday of February, and then the second weekend of Saturday of February, the College of Education at North Texas is hosting. Texas Tex Ed Camp, something. So anyway, we've just got a couple minutes left.
I attended EdCamp Magic in Florida.
You did.
That's right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was back in June. So
why
fantastic.
don't we put that on our agenda for next week? Our plan is to go ahead and go with Thursdays at 8 p.m. We kind of talked about that the first time we met, and we'll just kind of meet. Hopefully that'll work, but if it doesn't work for me or whatever, I mean, the show will kind of go on as far as a weekly check-in to make sure we're moving forward. But June has already accomplished pretty much all the food tasks, so I don't know what we're gonna do with all our extra time.
And I apologize for the WebEx issue,
That's okay.
guys. I'll try to work that out for our next meeting so we can get everybody in.
Glitches happen. Hey, did you guys just see June? Did he take the blue pill or the red pill? I didn't see it. It was too small. Okay. Well, anybody have anything else to add? No, June, you can tell us which one was it.
I can't confirm nor deny since this is being recorded.
That's right. People can see this, so people.
I started the to-do list underneath the last for VIP coordinator for next meeting, and so I put logo decided, process for nonprofit, and then I'm going to contact Jonathan or Toby.
And what I might do is I think I'll copy what we have for our committees and then just paste it into our agenda for next time, and that way what we did tonight will be there, and then we can just kind of keep adding. So, anything else? Does anyone have a closing joke?
Not a clean one.
Yeah, it's recorded, so. And what has been the hardest thing? This isn't a joke. This is serious. What has been the hardest thing about moving to higher education?
Oh goodness, probably the kids. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's a different atmosphere. And I knew that was coming, but when you're around K-12 kids, I mean, I got to do pre-K through 12. It's just. You feel like you can really make a difference, and I think that's probably what I'm struggling with the most. Is I feel like there's just so many younger kids that need me.
Do you need some hugs, Ann? Is that what you're saying?
I do need. Yes, I do say that all the time. I was like, college kids don't give hugs, which would be.
We're gonna do some hugs, and everyone.
Virtual hugs.
That's right, the Hug Fest. All right. Well, thanks everybody for your time. Thanks for everybody for joining us. We'll be back and try the WebEx next week, and. Please tweet it out, let people know, and we'll kind of watch our registration grow. And get your own registration in if you haven't already.
Yeah, Tammy said next week. We are meeting next week, right?
Yeah, just clarifying, every 2 weeks, or we're meeting next week?
Okay, do it well. What do you feel like? Do you feel like we need to do that to move with the logo and everything, and then go to 2 weeks?
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, yeah. I hadn't heard 2 weeks earlier, but yeah, that would be great.
We did talk 2 weweeks, but I kind of think if we get that logo decided, we get the t-shirts going, and then we might be able to slow it down and not meet every week. Because how long did we meet to get the summer one together? Didn't we meet like once?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's not talk about our meetings for our last logos. Yeah. Well, let's not talk about meetings and logos.
Yeah, right. We're gonna watch that. Okay.
I'll email Andrea and Amanda and just make sure that they move quickly on really looking at T-shirts, and then also look at Mint as well.
Okay. So the big things next week. Hopefully, we can decide on logos and T-shirts, and then the finance stuff. If we have that to move forward, those will be big things.
And Tammy, real quick, Adam McPhail has T-shirts he ordered for EOC. I got one of those T-shirts, and they're not Mint. They weren't not as expensive, but they are just as soft. So just Adam, they were great T-shirts. The design was great and everything. So if you need some other information about that, EOC with Adam McPhail.
Okay, I'll share that with Amanda and Andrea.
They're good T-shirts, and he didn't pay that much for them either.
Good.
Okay.
We like that. All right, well, have a coffee for us, June.
All right, bye, June. Hopefully you make it home safe and out of that closet.
Thanks, guys.
Stay away from those red pills.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Take the blue pill. We want to see the truth.